Yeah, you see across the city of Chicago is that they're getting access to, they're getting up to $9,000 in funding. They're getting access, they're getting rental assistance, they're getting support, free childcare, free transportation, and with the housing situation, we're noticing now the city of Chicago has been scrambling to really find places for them to go. So they're making deals with landowners. All of a sudden, now that there's this money falling from out the sky for migrants, these landowners are now using the money to renovate to allow migrants to get in. So we're now beginning to see that they're prioritizing migrants in housing and then also utilizing land that really should be renovated and brought back into the community for community use.
So Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, is being sued by his own constituents. So we have a very interesting turn of events in Chicago where you see these left-wing Democrats, these Democrats who vote 90% for Joe Biden, particularly the black women who vote 95% for Democrats. They're angry with the Democrat Party. They're angry with the Chicago leadership over the illegal immigrant influx. So Chicago's been hit with over 30,000. I think it's about 35,000 of them right now living in Chicago because they constantly come across the border, Joe Biden's wide open border, and they say, can I get a free bus ride, a plane ride, or something to Chicago? I would love to live in Chicago. So they go up there to Chicago because it's a sanctuary city. And now the residents in Chicago who voted for these left-wing policies and the mayor himself don't want them there. The mayor has been suffering panic attacks because he's so stressed out about the migrant crisis, about residents being angry, about not knowing what to do, not being able to handle the crisis. And his constituents like, look, man, why don't we recall you and get you the hell out of here if you can't handle it? Because we're fed up with this. In fact, how about we sue you because you are being negligent? And these are the same residents who've been living in Chicago for years. As black on black crime ran rapid, neighborhoods having shootouts, teenagers killing each other, no lawsuits. The education in these black neighborhoods, trash, completely trash. These kids can't read, they can't do basic math. They're leaving high school basically with no chance at excelling, no chance, very little chance at leaving these trash, raggedy neighborhoods that they came from because all they do is engage in foolishness. I'm not talking about all of them, but a large chunk of them. All they do is engage in foolishness, commit crimes, and don't learn a goddamn thing. Then they sit here and be in poverty for the next few decades. But there are no lawsuits over that. As crime ran rapid, people, houses being broken into, stores closing down because of crime, because of teen takeovers, because of abject poverty being caused by lack of education and increased crime. No lawsuits. But this illegal immigrant influx, they're saying that Chicago, Brandon Johnson, them are making money poof out of thin air to take care of illegal immigrants, and these black residents aren't being taken care of. So now they're angry. Like, look, you're giving them free childcare and free housing and free laundry services and all of this other crap. We're not getting that. So since you're giving the illegal immigrants free crap and we're not getting in on it, we're going to sue you. So these residents are very upset with this, and we're going to take a look at a particular resident, one of them who's leading the forefront in this lawsuit, and see what's going on here.
Democratic Party, we're watching you.
Yeah.
We are disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
We are angry.
Yes.
We are offended.
Mm-hmm.
And we feel like we're being mistreated, misused, and disrespected.
Yeah.
We will not continue to be disrespected by the Democratic Party.
I find this absolutely laughable. And the reason why I find it laughable, because you've been disrespected by the Democrat Party for the last 50 years. Remember, Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And 95% of black women went out there and voted for him. Democrats have ran these big cities like Chicago, New York, Baltimore. They've run these cities for decades into the ground. Crime is rampant. Like I said, education is trash. These black people are living in poverty. But you're talking about you won't be disrespected. Since when? I guess since these illegal immigrants are getting more free stuff, I guess you consider that to be disrespect. I don't know.
As I said yesterday, and I'll say today and tomorrow, if you're an independent candidate, Green Party candidate, Republican candidate, now is your time in this city.
You believe that? Let me know in the comments. Do you believe that these people will actually vote for anybody else besides Democrat? Because I don't. Definitely not a Republican. Because they talk all this trash. They're all disgruntled. But wait, we're going to see how this statement I just made ages in November. Because I highly doubt that these people in Chicago will defect from Joe Biden and vote for Trump or even RFK or somebody. Because remember, they say Trump is Hitler. They watch CNN, MSNBC, and all these other left-wing networks, Whoopi Goldberg on The View, and they just sit there and take propaganda all day long. Oh, Trump, he did this to this lady, Jean Carroll, whatever the hell her name is. Oh, Trump, he's going to start World War III. Oh, Trump, he's racist. All this crap that these Democrats spew so they can maintain power and do absolutely nothing for these black people sitting here complaining.
Joining us now, the Chicago resident you just heard there, Kata Truss. Kata, it's really great to have you. Tell me what you are frustrated about specifically.
Well, one of the things that I'm frustrated about is the fact that the Biden administration is not handling the migrant crisis in a way that it is good for them or the cities that the migrants are being sent to. I certainly don't want to demonize the migrants because not.
So what you want Biden to do? Because when Trump said, I want to build a wall, I want to deport immigrants, y'all say he was racist. Chicago and other cities became sanctuary cities. Well, we had sanctuary cities around, but all of these big blue cities started becoming sanctuary cities during the Trump era because they pushed that whole, oh, Trump is racist, kids in cages. He's talking about building a wall, said all people from the southern border are criminals, even though he never said that crap. But these people said, oh, Trump is racist. He wants to build a wall. He's racist. He's snatching children from their mother's arms. That's racist. He wants to send them back across the border to crime-infested Mexico, to crime-infested Central America. He must be racist. So Biden comes in and has the border wide open, but now y'all crying about that?
A lot of what is happening is their fault. I think that our mayor, our governor, as well as President Biden has to step in and make some changes to what is happening right now. Right now, it seems as if our borders are just open and that people are freely coming in and that there are no laws that are being followed in terms of immigration.
You voted for this. You voted for these left-wing activists like Brandon Johnson and Joe Biden, and they opened the border. This is your fault.
And so what is happening here in Chicago is that we are seeing our city spend up to $48 million a month to house and take care of migrants. Now, when you talk about the Black communities here in the city of Chicago, and you talk about the years of disinvestment in our communities, in our schools, and all around us, and you see this amount of money being spent to people who have come from outside of this country, that is a problem for us. And I think that one of the reasons I got involved in this is because when you talk about coming into the Austin community, a community that has already been blighted and disinvested in, and talking about one of the major crown jewels of the community, you're talking about taking it away from the community to house migrants at a time where we're seeing increased crime because our children don't have things to do, they don't have jobs. And we're seeing this money being spent, and it's being spent on other people in community.
Wait, did you just say increased crime because the children don't have things to do or have jobs? That's that exact same talking point that Brandon Johnson gave. After that big weekend when a teen takeover started, when they were literally committing grand theft auto, when they were burglarizing gas stations, when they were committing vandalism against people's personal property, Brandon Johnson said, don't demonize these teenagers. They don't have any money. They're hungry. They need to eat. They don't have jobs. And they don't have anything to do. We're in the massive city of Chicago, but these teenagers have nothing to do. So you can hear this lady here. She's still spewing these left-wing talking points. So she's talking about, oh, look out, Democrats. We might vote Republican. No way in hell. Ain't no way. She's just upset because these migrants who she voted to let in are getting better treatment than they are. And the reason why they're getting better treatment is because Brandon Johnson, Joe Biden, them know that they can slap y'all around, these black Democrats. They can slap you around, talk all types of trash to you, make all types of racist statements, and you will vote for him anyways. So you're going to sit here and cry, but come November, you're going to vote for him.
That could really benefit for that money. Here in Chicago, I was sitting in a meeting with the Board of Education, and they talked about a $391 million shortfall that they're going to have this upcoming year. And when you look at the money that has been spent on the migrants, you know, we have a problem with that. And I heard someone say earlier that here in Chicago, we're talking about turning away from the Democratic Party. I have already turned. I will be voting Republican this time around.
I don't believe it.
And I don't think that that's just a sentiment of Cotta Trust. I think that's the sentiment of a lot of people around the entire United States. And basically, you know, for years, the Democratic Party has taken our vote for granted, and they feel that they can continue to ignore us, not support us, not give us the things that we need in our communities, and we're going to continue to vote for them. We are not our grandparents. We're different. And
Lies, lies, lies. I don't believe it. These people are way too loyal. And you know what? I'm actually surprised a far left network that has completely gone off the deep end with Trump derangement syndrome. I'm surprised they're actually airing something like this, because usually the only thing that they will air are things that are negative about Trump. So I don't know what's going on with this. I think somebody up top kind of missed this. They might scrub it off YouTube a little bit later, though.
when we see that you don't have our best interests at heart, we're going to go elsewhere. I'm going elsewhere.
Cotta, that's a big statement. If President Biden were listening right now, or the White House was listening, what would you tell them to try to get your vote back?
I don't know that they can get my vote back.
Why
I
not?
think that one of the biggest problems with this whole situation is when this started, I called my congressman, I called my step representative, I called my state senator, I called our Cook County commissioner, and I tried to sit down to meet with them. I even called our mayor. And I wanted to sit down and talk to them to find out if there was just something that I was missing, if there was some information that I needed in order to make me sit comfortably with what was happening. And nobody had time to sit down with me. Nobody had time to meet with me to discuss.
Of course they didn't, because 95% of black women are going to vote blue. So why should they burn time on you when they don't believe that you will ever defect? They have a track record showing that these black women will be extremely loyal to the Democrat Party. They shut down the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois. So black businesses, you got big black neighborhoods up there. All these black businesses shut down. Many of those businesses gone forever. These black children are already having trouble in schools, and they shut down a public school for 2 years unnecessarily. They lied to you, convinced you to get vaccines and crap, and you still voted blue after all of that abuse. So these people like, look, we can treat you like a dirty dog and you will still vote for us.
Discuss this issue. And so as important as this issue has become to the black community, and the fact that our mayor, who I know, whom I supported, whom I donated money to his campaign, has not bothered to pick up the phone and to call me and to talk to me about what's happening, is a slap in the face for me.
Oh,
and
well.
So no, I cannot support people who will not.
Oh, well, no sympathy. That's the end of that. Oh, the mayor doesn't want to talk to me. I called the congressman. I didn't get a call back. Of course. But you know what would be interesting? I would like to see Trump, for the hell of it, do a rally in Chicago, Southside, these neighborhoods where all these migrants are. I want to see how these people react to that. That would be pretty interesting. But that's what's going on over there in Chicago right now. Got Brandon Johnson being hospitalized, having panic attacks. We got little children, toddlers in these shelters dying. They said one of these shelters was infested with roaches. Had raw sewage, they sleeping on the floor, roaches crawling on them. Pretty disgusting. And these black people are mad because these migrants, outside of that type of treatment, sleeping next to sewage and roaches, these migrants are getting way more money. All types of incentives to come to Chicago: video games, computers, phones, free food, free childcare, free rent. So the migrants who are fortunate enough to not be living in disgusting shelters or out there freezing to death trying to get in a city bus just to get warm, those migrants are pretty fortunate because a lot of them are in these nice hotels and they get a lot of amenities. And people like this lady here, they're just jealous as hell because they're like, why are you spending money on these illegal immigrants when you can give us the money? We have this education department, whatever the hell she was talking about. We have this. Why don't you give some money to that? Because they don't need to. Because you will vote for them no matter what. That's what the track record shows. Now, I'm not speaking about her specifically. I'm just saying generally, black people in general, and specifically black women in general, they are extremely loyal to the Democrat Party no matter what. Look at decades of abuse, and they continue to vote for these left-wing lunatics. So let me know what you guys think about this. Leave me your thoughts below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.